Last week, we talked so much about setting the foundations, the things that actually make our goal settings to work. I hope you went through your worksheet. I hope you find time to do your self-assessment, write out your values and understand your vision, the clear picture of where you're going to, not just next year, but the wider picture, who you're becoming in the next 5 years, who you're becoming in the next 10 years, where you're going to. Last week, we identified that the difference between where you want to go and where you are right now, that's what we're setting goals on. Goal setting is maximizing the distance between where we are and where we want to go. That will not be possible if you don't do a self assessment to find out where you are. If you don't identify your core values, if you're not able to envision, to see yourself in the bigger picture of who you're becoming, what can be, what is possible, the potential is already in you. But you have to be able to paint a picture of what you can see in your future. You might not look like it now, and that's absolutely fine. That's why we're setting goals. What can become of you? What picture of you can you see? What are you becoming? This will dealt with so much in our last week class. And I want to say that if you haven't watched that class, going through this class will not be so beneficial for you. Come through this class, but as soon as you finish this class, make sure you find time to go back, to go and do your worksheets. It is not so much of what you hear, it is not so much of what you are taught, it is so much of what you process with your information. That's skills. Information is everywhere, knowledge is hanging around, but the true skill is in processing what you have done. All right, so today we're going to setting our smart goals. If you've ever set a goal before and it didn't work, oh, thanks. Good afternoon. If you've ever set a goal before and it didn't work, if you've ever started and all of a sudden you forget about the goals, life happened and you needed to sort yourself first, understand that something is wrong along the line. Doing a self assessment, watching last youth class can help you resolve all of this. So today, straightforward, we go into SMART goals. What are SMART goals? The word SMART is an acronym that helps you to check your goals to make sure that they are properly set, to make sure to help you understand what needs to be done, how, when, and why, and even where. So the word SMART represents S for specific. Your goals, for it to be achievable, must be for specific. That answer the exact question of what exactly do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? M is for measurable. Whatever you don't measure, you can't improve on, you can't expand it, you can't, success is data driven. So for you to be successful, you need to put in your mind measurement. Some people say, why did we even learn all those mathematics? In school, it's to give you a sense of measurement, it's to give you a sense of data. Success is Life is about success. Success is also data driven. You don't have to be a mathematician to set goals, but you have to be able to measure where you are per time. A stand for achievable. Your goals must be realistic. They must be within the seasons of your life. As we go ahead in this class, I will help you to see ways whereby we set ourselves up to fail, because we're not setting goals that are really achievable. We're not being truthful and genuine with ourselves. Another aspect of SMART goals, the R, is relevant. Is your goal relevant? How relevant is it? Is it connected to the bigger picture of what we did last week, your vision? Is your goal is it about the bigger picture or just a quick fix? And the last one is T, smart, time bound. Your goals must be anchored on a deadline. So again, I go over the SMART vision again. SMART goals setting, sorry. SMART goals is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what makes it SMART. That's only an acronym to help you to see if your goals is even set on a foundation of being achievable in the first place. So let's go to specific. Specific answer the question of what do you want to do. You will be surprised how many people want something, but they don't really know what they want. You will be surprised how many people really, really want something, but when you ask them, they can't put it into words. They can't express it. It's more of a dominating thing within them. They can't express it. Whatever you cannot define, if you cannot state your goals in one sentence, it's not clear. So being specific is not about being enormous, it's not being many, it's about being clear. We are looking for clarity in your goals. It doesn't mean it's in the is details. Being specific doesn't mean details. It doesn't mean when I live here and I will now go there and I will now do this. No, it just means clarity. Your goals must be specific. If you cannot explain your goal in one sentence, it's not specific enough. And when I mean one sentence, it's not that you just cut it short, but that one sentence is able to tell us exactly what you want to do. Don't just say I want to lose weight. That's not specific. Don't say I want to become a better parent. What does better parent means? What is the quality of what measurements, how far, what's your weight now, how many kg do you want to lose? You don't just give a vague goal, because these are the reasons why goals actually fail in the first place. So at the end of today's class, you will be able to spot why goals fails even when they are smart. You will be able to upgrade your goals from intervention to execution. I want us to come out of that place where we are just wishing. It's not enough to write your goals. We want to take it from the place of, you know, intention to execution. And at the end of this class, I'm expecting that I will leave you with a practical method to actually set your goals in such a way that they will eventually be achievable. So, I was talking about specific, and I said it doesn't mean elaborate, it just means clear. That in one sentence, in simple words, you can put your goals together and say, this is what I want to do. So what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? If you're writing same time with me, write it down. Is it specific enough? Can you tell somebody and they will understand without needing 10 minutes, 15 minutes explanation of what you really want to do? When you say it in a sentence, can somebody pick it up and say, yes, this is what you mean, I understand you? If not, then you need to go over that goal again. Measurable. When we talk about smart goals, your goals must be measurable. Measurement is not about pressure. Measuring our goals is not about pressure. It's about feedback, because this is going to be over time. You want to be able to receive feedback from the goals that you've set. How far have we gone? What have we done right? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to improve on? What do I need to stop? So measurement is not about pressure. It's about the feedback that you get from the goals that you have set. How will you know that you are making progress? I want to lose by 2026, I want to lose 20 kg. So how will you know that you are making progress? Maybe after 10 in the first 3 months, maybe you will have, have a standard meal plan that help you to eat right. Maybe you have registered for the gym, and by that time you have lost 2 or 3 kg in the first 2 3 months of doing it. So your goals must be measurable. What you cannot measure, you cannot manage. What will you see? What will you know? What will you have noticed to help you to know that your goal is measurable? Please give me 1 second. Let me see that my connection is right, please. All right, thank you. I think everything is all right now. Okay. So the next one is achievable. How do you know that your goals will be achievable? We're talking about goals and its achievements. When you are setting these goals, when you are writing it down, right there and there must be an element that gives you confidence that this goal will be achievable. And this is why this is where people, set up themselves for failure. Because, yes, we want to dream big. We want to achieve greater things. But you people now start considering, if I'm earning 1,000 per month now, and I've been told to dream big, to have a bigger vision, and I want to start earning, take for example, from 10,000 naira to 50,000. Is this really achievable? Or maybe I should just say I will be earning 11,000. Anyway, I know that ten x goal is easier than 2x goals. That's another discussion for another day. But that's not what I'm saying. You are not setting yourself for failure when you're looking at if your goals are achievable. What you are doing is, it's not about playing small, it's about assessing your time, your energy, your resources, your current responsibilities. That's what you bring in into it. If all the certificate you have now is SSCE, is A level, you are not going to be setting goals that will make you to earn like a medical doctor next year. That's not going to be achievable. But even where you are, there are things you can improve on, there are things you can build on. And even if being a medical doctor is your big picture, why not? It's achievable. But you have to make sure that the goals you set, they are the things that makes you walk from where you are now to where you want to go to realistically. And that takes me to the next one that says relevance. Relevance is the most underrated part of a smart goals. You know why? People don't think about the bigger picture when they are setting goals. And that's one of the reasons that make goals fail. They get excited. Maybe you go on social media, you go on old school platforms, your influencer, and you see your nice, vibrant things that makes you happy. And you say, me too, I can do this next year. And you quickly, rush out, start out. Please, you start sending message. Please, how can I do this? Please, how can I achieve that? Can I join your class? Can I join this? Because you went on the role of excitement. It's good to be inspired. It's good to be motivated. But take time to sit down and ask yourself, this thing, as good as it is it for me? Some things are good. It's not about being good or being bad. It's about, is it for you? Is it relevant? It might be good that there is a job that now pay millions of pounds, but is it good for you? In your bigger picture, how does that feature? For example, you are a nursing mother, you are raising young children, toddlers, and you have just found a job online that will pay very well, but it means that you will be away 3 months at a time from home. You will only be able to come back to your family 2 times in a week, and then you are back. It's so exciting, isn't it? But is it relevant? If you have identified family as your core value, if you have identified, relationship as your core value, if you have said God first and family first, so how is that relevant? This is why I've seen most people trip off on their goals. And when life starts setting in, the first thing they throw out is that goal. Sometimes they manage to push through, but they end up frustrated. They end up without fulfillment. They don't succeed. They might be successful in quotes because they are able to build big houses, drive big cars, but deep inside them, their own definition of self of success and fulfillment is not those things. So you have to make sure that your goals from the beginning now is so much relevant. Don't trivialize relevance in setting your goals. And these are the questions that I want you to ask when you are setting your goals, to make sure that they are really, really relevant to who you are becoming, to where you're going to in the future. Number one question you should ask is, does this align with my role right now? Like I made an example of a nursing mother. That's only a season of life. Your children will not always be toddler. So it means that that phase is going to pass, and then you'll be able to do other things. So that goals that you are setting now, is it relevant to your roles presently now? The second question is, does it serve my vision? Because we are not living for now. We are living a life of legacy, a bigger picture. Even though you don't look like it now, that's fine. But in the bigger picture, can that goal fit in? Because now that you are going to pick a job that needs you to drive 40 minutes in the morning, work 13 hours, and come back 40 minutes again in in the night when your children are sleeping. Does that role fit in your vision of raising generational leaders that are, well nurtured and brought up at home? Does that fit into the bigger picture? So don't just set your goals based on excitement. Make sure it aligns with your current role, your season of life. Make sure it aligns with your values, who you're becoming, your vision. And ask yourself, is this goal a priority or a distraction? This has happened to me several times. You have a bigger picture, you have something, and all of a sudden something quickly come up, and you're like, oh, this can look like it. We get carried away, we get distracted. That was my first time on TikTok. I was building on that platform and there were things I was doing, and then I saw something that looks like, oh, but I was quick to realize that this wasn't my priority. So I rescheduled. you know I view my vision again. I looked at it. You must make sure that you ask yourself, this thing I'm doing, is it a priority? Does it involve life? What about time? Because once time is gone, it's gone. Whatever happened yesterday is gone. You can't go back to undo it. You can't relive that aspect of life. So ask yourself, this goal that I'm setting, is it of priority? Is it of relevance? Is it aligned with my vision? Is it aligned with the bigger picture that I'm becoming? And that takes me to time bound. Don't forget, we're talking about SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Always anchor your goals on time. Anchor them to a deadline. When do you want to achieve it? How will you know? Don't just leave it into an open, endless. Somebody ask you, when are you going to start? So you say as soon as possible. That's not a goal. Or you say soon I will soon start my business. That's not a goal that will be achievable. Don't say one day. I know that one day things will turn around. That's not a goal. God forbid, is not a plan. That's not a goal. That's not my portion, is not a goal. You know, be intentional. If you're a Christian and you read the Bible, you will know that God Himself is intentional. When He is talking to somebody, He will say, for 3 days do this, for 40 days do this. He even give people measurements, because life is meant to be intentional. So don't just live your life on chances. Don't just say, one day, maybe, if had it been, take out those things. These are things that will set your goals to fail even from the beginning before you start. All right. So instead of saying one day, be specific. Say, for example, by so time, this time next year, maybe 12 months from today. And I want to encourage you, because when you're setting your goals for 2026, because the 12 months looks very long, and your mind can wander away. There's this thing that happened to us. When we start with excitement, but over time, because there's going to be one or two things that happen, you tend to forget, you tend to lose your focus. There are a lot of distractions. That's why the Bible says you should keep your heart with all diligence, because that is where the issues of life comes from. Is hard work. It's going to get hard. So what you can do is to break them. You can break the year into quarter. First 3 months, this is what I want to achieve. Second 3 months, break them into quarter. That makes it manageable. That puts your minds, it's not too far. Hope the farthest, so it's not too far from you. It doesn't make you wander away and happen. God, where will this happen? So 3 months is a good time. I usually call it the first 90 days. You have to clear your way to, for the first 90 days, what you will achieve, or the end of the month, depending on how realistic and achievable that goal is. But don't you ever say very soon, or at some point, or sometimes in the year, or you say the worst part, you say God's time is the best. Every day is God's day. The day you are ready is your own day. So that's what you should do about your SMART goals. The problem with not setting your goals smart and answering all these questions that we have mentioned is that goals are designed to mark progress. But when you don't set your goals in such a smart way that aligns with your capacity, being realistic, that aligns with your values and your vision, and the system, they become pressure. Instead of your goals to be to come with progress, you become pressurized. You put yourself under pressure. After 2 3 months, by the time they say it's July 1st, you're worried, you're agitated. Where have I been? And when they now say it's September, you say, what have I been doing from the beginning of the year? You don't want to be there. So set your goals. Make sure they are smart. Be specific about what you want. Don't say I will start a business next year. Make it clear. You can say in 6 months, by the end of June 2026, I will increase my monthly income by 20,000. And how will that happen? Maybe by selling food, by selling cooked soup to working class women, and making sure I have 4 regular customers, and they will be paying me so amount. You know these are things we have identified. We have been specific. You want the specific thing there is that you want to increase the amount you earn every month. By 6 months, you want to make sure that every month you have extra 20,000 naira coming from a regular stream. You know, that's specific. Measurable. By 6 months, at the end of that 6 months, you want to have 4 regular customers that you will be, maybe every weekend you will be giving them cook food. They are professional, you are specific. You know the type of people you are looking for. You already know who they are. You know, what will you will be selling something to them. You are offering value, because the money you are looking for is not that you are waiting for somebody. Hey, urgent 2K. Hey, my daughter. Hey, this one lie tomorrow. This one, if God has put in your heart, it is tomorrow. No, you are not becoming a beggar because you want to increase your income. You are designing how this 20,000 naira will come together from 4 different people, and I think that is realistic. You'll be able to get working class people who can pay 5,000 naira for a pot of soup, two things, if you are very knowledgeable, if you have the knowledge of what you want to do, if you have the resources and the facilities. And 6 months is a good time for you, to look out. And I'm going to tell us in the next session to look out for how you can look for those customers. But you have already defined where you are going. Your goal is specific enough. It's different from somebody that say, next year I want to make more money. How? When? Why do you want to make more money? What will you be doing? How will you be doing it? Because once you don't determine how you want to make it, you will do it anyhow. Once you don't tell us how you want to make money, it means you can steal. It means when you see money on the floor, it will also look like angels brought money. But that's not what we are saying. It means you will become a beggar, and before you know it, you say, UK people are very stingy. All they do is send 10K, 10K. But that's not what you want to become. You are not doing this to become a beggar. You are doing this to increase your financial capacity. You are doing this to improve the person that you are becoming. You know the true picture. So when I beg you, when you go through the assessment that you do last week, pick one at a time. That's another reason why goals fail. People tend to pack 10, 5 things. You have done that assessment now. You have observed that your spiritual life is way behind. You have find out that your finances, you cannot even cope with what is ahead of you. You have found out that your career is behind. You cannot improve everything at the same time. That's the truth. You might not like it, but that is the truth. Look at that list very well. Pick one clarity. Pick one, your priority. Let me tell you what happens to our brain. When you have too many things at a time, your brain just decide, it will just sit down and look at you. You get your brain confused. But when you pick one and you focus all your attention on that one thing, immediately you achieve it. You send a signal to your brain that when we start something here, we finish. When we design a goal here, we accomplish it. Your brain stand with you. Your brain help you to even see bigger and wider channel. And once you have done that, once you have picked your priority, somebody is saying, what will now happen to other areas? Does that mean the other areas will be suffering until that time? Let me tell you the way life works. The earlier you focus and pick the priority, because once you pick the priority, it's like setting a foundation, everything balanced. But if you put everything together, at the end of the day, none of it will improve. If you are not careful, they will even crumble, because you are here and there. The focus is not there. So look for the major one. It might be that resolving from where you are now, depending on who you are and your present, that's if you did your self-assessment last week, depending on your past state of life now, the priority of it, some of us is just that we just need to go and learn something new. If you don't want to put your energy in learning that new thing, and you run away to go and make money, you will have that money. By the time that money come, it will not be sufficient to learn what you should learn, or the people who should teach you that thing in details will no longer be available. So sit down and define your priority. My goal is to keep this class within 30 and 35 minutes, especially for people who join me during their lunch break at work. So in our next session, we're going to build systems, because it is three stages. The first one is self-assessment, your values and vision, which we have done last week. And here is where we are writing our goals in a smart way: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Once you have written it based on your priority and you have seen what you want to do per time, how it's going to come together, we need to build systems. We need to build habits, because life is going to happen. You know, it was one governor that day that said, "May our loyalty never be tested." Your loyalty will be tested. Seasons of life will come, challenges will come. It's like that man that builds his house upon the sand, even the one that built his house on the rock. Rain will come, wind will come. The only difference is that he has built his house on a rock. So after all the storm, the house will still be standing. And what will make your house stand in this situation is not just the smart goals that you have written, but the system, the structure, and the habits that you put in place. So in our next class, we're going to be designing systems, structures, and habits to make all these goals relevant. But today, go and pick one goal at a time. Make sure they are specific. What exactly do you want? Being specific doesn't mean lengthy, it just means clear. One sentence that describes what you want to achieve. Make sure it's measurable. How are you going to know that there is improvement? When you go to the hospital, they check your blood pressure. They are looking for measurement to compare against standard. How will you know that you're already losing weight? Is it that by 2 months you will climb the weighing scale and you have lost 2 kg, isn't it? How will you know that you are succeeding in that course? They have mark assignment. Did you pass? You have to make sure that it's achievable. Be true, be genuine with yourself. If right now you don't know how to plait hair neatly, don't say by next year you will be plaiting hair for governor's wife. It's not going to be achievable. If by now you still sew cloth and the people, somebody still have to tell you this place, that place, don't say by next year I will now have 1,000 customers who are waiting by my door. Nobody will wait. Your goals should be, I will go and learn and improve my skill. And again, it has to be relevant. Make sure it's not Instagram induced goal. Nobody brings the backside of their life on screen. Everybody shine the bright life of it, and we all know that that's not the true picture of life. So make sure that your goals is relevant. It's not coming from Instagram. It's not coming from flashes. It's not coming from inspirations from different area. It's coming from your inner person, inner mind, who you are becoming. And make sure you set time. It will happen one day, as soon as possible. I know God's time is the best. One day, maybe at some point, we are not living our life on frivolities. We are not doing we are not doing the trend. We are being specific per time. So go back, design your goals, make sure they are smart, achievable, realistic, the new person of who you are becoming and who you are right now. And by the time we meet next week, we will be setting systems. Because if you are setting a goal now and you are not considering that you are a mother, you are a wife, you are a daughter, you are a pastor's wife, you are a working class mother, all of your functions and your roles, they should reflect in your goals. Because once anything happen, you want to go and do PhD now, very good. But you are raising 4 children. What happened the day one of your child is sick and you need to sit down with them at home? So we are going to plan for that in our next class, because situations of life will arise. That you are a mother does not mean you are not going to achieve your goals. You will, but you will have to plan for those things ahead. What happened the day your car breaks down and you cannot go to and give your customers the goods and services that they have paid for? So we are going to anticipate things that can go wrong and plan for them, so that when they come, they don't come to us as surprises. We already have a plan for how to handle them. It's called risk assessment. So next week, we're going to be risk proving our goals. We are going to be putting system in place, and we are going to be designing habits, good habits. Some things are with you now that if you don't drop them, 2026 will be a replica of 2025. There are things that you are not doing now. If you don't start doing them, it will not take you to where you want to go. So at this point, I make it a close. If you've got any questions for me, I'll go through the comments. Let me see your questions. You can also go back to our community. We have a community group on WhatsApp where I'll share a walkthrough for this one as well, so that you can go through it in case the way I was saying it was just too much for you to comprehend. Go over it again and again. Okay? Read, ask questions, write. Don't have your goals in your head. Challenges of life are coming, they will flush it away. It only take one alert and you will forget the major things that is coming. It only take one message of grandma has swallowed pin and you will forget all those money that you have been saving, that you will forget it. So write it down. And what you see, what you hear, there are things that set your life on autopilot. Stick it. As I'm talking to you, I have a board in my front. I have my own goals, that I have my own visions, that I have my own schedule of daily activity, that I have my own family visions and everything. So when I sit down every day, I set my face to look at it. It says write the vision so that anybody reading it will run. I'm hoping that you will be able to run your race, not another man's race, and be successful in your journey in 2026. I wish you the very best. Have I got question in the comments? Any question? Thank you so much for joining me. Look out for our worksheets in the community, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We send out so many resources, short videos, classes like this, and come to our community where you can get the worksheet. And if you're joining us for the first time, thank you very much. Until I come your way next week, my name is Funkeola Onipekun. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.